to Deep Ellum on air.
Right, you're on mute.
Deep Ellum on air.
It's time to really get our party on now.
Welcome to us waking up in the morning. How are you guys doing? This is Jedigoddess.
That was dope. Like for real, for real.
I love it. I love it. This is what makes the show exciting, though, getting all the pieces together. So I'm your host, Christy Jedigoddess, and to my right, I have Khalid, the man Robertson.
I'm that dude. How y'all doing?
And then, of course, I have to my right, Thomas Branch.
Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon.
Exactly.
And, of course, to the left, the always impressive, awesome, and master of happiness, Zach Konnichiwa.
This is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps, Larry.
That's what I'm talking about.
And that's what happened today. And, of course, in the background, we have our host, EP as well, Michael.
Hi, Mike.
Hello.
And then, of course, we have Jansen, who we're always very thankful for running the board and
so good.
yelling at us when we need to be yelled at.
Dang right.
When we deserve it.
That was
so. But as you can see, Zach, Star Wars News at a Comic-Con, I think that's the way to go. There's a lot of cool stuff that came out of Comic-Con today.
So
or
much
last.
Dang right, boy.
It's still coming out, actually.
Well, like I said, we've gotten to see some of the best. I mean, we definitely need to drop that Amy Schumer type stuff. Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
So much controversy. Amy Schumer doing an unauthorized photo shoot for Lucasfilm, which... have we posted those links on Facebook?
I don't think we have, actually. Essentially, Amy Schumer, in anticipation for a new film, Trainwreck, which I have seen, she posed on GQ magazine with Chewbacca, R2-D2, C-3PO.
There you go.
There's our...
Yeah, and Disney is all over this. They are completely upset. They actually issued a statement saying they did not authorize the inappropriate use of their characters in this way. And honestly, how does something like that get through like the mill? I mean, I know GQ when they published that already knew what they were doing.
It's called cash money, baby. That's what happened.
It's called Some Poor Intern's Gonna Be Fired.
I know.
Dang right.
We'll blame this intern. Who wants to take the heat for it? I'll take the heat for being that guy.
I'll go to the Conan show.
It don't matter. The black guy will get it anyway.
That's funny. But yeah, so that was pretty interesting. There's a debate though on what level you could do, because I know like back in the day, Carrie Fisher got in trouble because she posed for Playboy in the Slave Leia bikini costume, so that caused a lot of controversy. But now Amy Schumer it's a little different because she's actually inappropriately posing. With it,
maybe it's for in honor of.
This is a fan-made cover.
Yeah, the thing is that it belonging to the fans. We get some very, very dirty fans, and the thing is that it was really dirty but very funny, and that's what Amy Schumer does. I mean, I know you got.
Boy,
bravo to all the prop makers and the costume designers. I mean, that was it was a good shoot. It was a good shoot. I mean,
yeah. If you dig Amy Schumer, that's very funny, and if you dig Star Wars as a fanboy, that's awesome. So I mean, but I mean, it happens the same way that we get the fan art made, we get the fan stuff made. Some fan went in and got a photo shoot done, and that was it. And kudos to GQ for posting that, man.
Dang,
absolutely.
That's pretty gangster right there. That's what I'm saying.
Oh. But yeah, we've gotten to see all kinds of cool stuff coming out of Comic-Con because you've had all the panels. You've had both the classic characters and the new folks walking in, lining up, and it's been good. I mean, getting to see Carrie Fisher and Harrison Ford and things like that. People who don't do these Comic-Cons actually getting out and doing Comic-Con.
And it was Harrison Ford's first public appearance since his accident.
Yep.
Yes.
So
he looks scared. Straight up.
I love
Hall
that.
H is very large.
Yes.
But who really feels sorry more than poor Kevin Smith, who had to follow that panel up with a mostly empty room because J.J. Abrams invited all of Hall H to a free concert.
A free concert of I guess the Los Angeles or London Philharmonic doing John Williams scores. And Kevin Smith goes, "How do I compete with this?"
You should
Right.
Just go up
invited
there,
your
man.
7 guys and let's go do this.
Shoot, man.
Yeah,
Just
basically
make it.
announcing his new film, Yoga Hosers. Oof.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say nothing.
Well, it was pretty intense too, that happening. Because, I mean, that would be a horrible thing. That was just poorly planned. And then what they did was they had this big fireworks celebration after the panel where people had their lightsabers. And was it John Boyega, who's very active on Instagram, by the way, took this really cool little clip of what was happening. It was this humongous fireworks show. So, yeah, and that thing was packed.
Was he sweating?
The camera was away from him. He was showing
Okay,
that.
Breathing hard, sweating, confused.
But yeah, as I'm scrolling through here, we're getting to see some really beautiful photos from Comic-Con because you have Hamill and Ford and Fisher all together in the same room going, "Yay, Star Wars!"
Yes.
And I mean, just as we're combing through, because this year was, the year for Star Wars to kind of do the takeover, and it was really cool to just see everything because you've got the new folks, you've got the classic folks, and because you've got John Boyega sitting and watching the trailer with fans. You've got just robots running around, and again, people doing all the fan-made stuff too.
Oh,
Yeah, and the fact that fans are like, and I continue to say this, it's just like everyone's very excited about this, and I really see more excitement this time around. I think people are starting to really come out of the woodwork from this, so I love it.
Well, what I like the most is that it's more accepted now than it used to be. I mean, everybody's pushing it really hard, so
Yeah,
that's one of the things I like. I think that's going on pretty cool.
I love all that stuff. I love it.
Yeah.
So,
And the thing is that they didn't reveal anything new.
Nope.
There was nothing new.
Nope.
It's a level of excitement and a level of joy over a movie that we know nothing about, and that's awesome.
and that's the biggest thing. It's like you said it perfectly. Nothing new has come out. We know like tiny little, because the behind the scenes, so we have tiny little pockets of something interesting, but nothing to really give away too much, and that's the best part about it. They really kept it tight and contained.
And the reel that they showed, I mean, all the behind the scenes stuff was just great. Practical sets, great little tidbit interviews with cast and members, and you get to see old school movie magic again.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
the best part.
Yes.
I love it.
I
Well,
like it too.
what are your thoughts from Comic-Con? What's something that really blew your mind, Thomas?
Well, without Marvel actually being there, DC brought it. DC brought it hard. And I mean, they everything they talked about, they hit on every note. They announced 12 brand new Vertigo titles. Everybody was talking about how Vertigo was dying. It only had 3. They only had 3 titles going on right now. They're about to lose Fable this month.
Wow.
And they announced 12 titles, and the top title out of there is Twilight Children by Gilbert Hernandez
Nice.
with artwork by Darwin Cook.
Nice.
And Darwin Cook went on record and said this is probably the most exciting project he's done since doing the Parker books. So I'm really excited about that. Mike Allred has a book called Art Ops. One of the books I'm really interested in is called Unfollow. It's kind of like a reverse Brewster's Millions. It's about
That's a flash in the past. Brewster's Millions.
You're welcome.
Damn, son.
But it's about a billionaire who's dying.
Old
He
school.
decides to invite random people out the world to offer them money, but you'll get more money if you eliminate the list.
Wow.
Very true.
That's
So it's
what's up.
Battle Royale.
It's a battle royale
For money.
Yeah, for
You
money.
know-
Battle Royale 3 for money.
Well, you guys remember It's a Mad, 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 Mad World? It's like one of my favorite movies, and
Oh,
that's
yes.
pretty much a battle royale to find the mystical money.
Battle Royale 3, the search for more money.
Yes.
Dang right.
Merchandising.
Let's see. Eric Kripke, creator of Supernatural, is going to have a book called Jacked. It's got art by John Higgins and covers by Glenn Fabry. Fabry back in doing DC stuff.
Nice.
Tom King's got a book out from Sheriff of Baghdad. Has Mitch Gerald, who was doing Punisher. And now that
Nice.
Punisher's not doing anything, so now he's moved over to the other side.
Man,
and
Baghdad.
they're actually releasing Lucifer, and they're going to tie the DC version of Lucifer to the television version of Lucifer.
They need to.
Well, we already talked about
I
how
know we talked about it, but
awful that plot line for the TV show sounds.
they're
It's
actually
like,
they're gonna actually make you a little map that's gonna lead you to the TV show.
I'm
So-
sure, Shields, Agents of Shield and Marvel did not have anything to do with the inspiration behind that.
Yeah, none whatsoever.
DC also announced that they're going to bring back Green Lantern, but it's going to be the Green Lantern Corps.
Right,
Okay.
right.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, a quick poll around the room. Now that we have Deadpool in play, have we finally reached a point where we can forgive Ryan Reynolds for Green Lantern?
I didn't think Green Lantern was that bad.
I'll tell you what, Ryan Reynolds,
Am I the only one?
and the thing is Ryan Reynolds brought it at Comic-Con. There's pictures
he
of
did.
him where he's in the Deadpool outfit. He's hitchhiking his way to Comic-Con. He left random bags of food with chimichangas in it,
Yep.
Nice.
promoting Deadpool. Wandered around the floor. I mean, he was saying all the right things. Go him.
Yeah,
because
I like
he's got
Ryan
a property.
Reynolds.
He's got a comic book property that'll actually.
Everybody
make
fronts
money.
on Ryan Reynolds. but I
And the
like
thing
him.
is that Ryan Reynolds is a really good pick to play the
Yeah.
Man, look how long he's been trying to do it though. He's been.
Yeah.
It's been like what?
And it's
It's
sad.
been, it's been a decade.
And it's a sad thing to say that, Green Lantern didn't lose money. It actually made money. So,
Oh, but did you see the interview that he had where he talked about
Yeah,
Green
but
Lantern?
Julia
He's
Roberts
like,
movies make money. Doesn't make them not terrible.
but what he said about Green Lantern?
I
what he
like
said
Julia
about Green
Roberts, but
Lantern-
that's a different story for a different time.
Like what he said about Green Lantern was that the suit that he was wearing was computer generated, so we had a hard time getting into character.
oh, sure.
That was one of the main things.
Let's see. We got a trailer for Suicide Squad.
Yes.
Amazing trailer.
I thought the trailer looked good. It actually, for some reason, when I watched it, I was like, coming out in August, what? And then I was like, oh, 2016.
That's right, 2016.
I did watch that trailer a bunch, though. I saw it on the big screen in front of, actually, AntMan, because I went to this. Shout out to Keith's Comics for the screening of AntMan. It was awesome. And we'll talk about AntMan a little bit later. But, yeah, I thought Suicide Squad looked pretty interesting. I know people had reservations about Joker, about Harley. I had reservations about Harley, too. But I thought it actually looked really good. And the grill throws me off still for Jared Leto's Joker. Just him having that. But, I have a feeling that he'll make it work. I have enough faith in Jared Leto as an actor to where I think I'm end up going to probably like this evolution.
Yeah,
of him.
I think
So.
I was at the North Texas Comic Book Show yesterday, and I was talking to people about the trailer and stuff like this. And someone says, the reason why he had the grill is probably because Batman was beating all his teeth out. So
that would be kind of a funny plot twist in that.
Yeah,
too.
and we've been hearing stories from Suicide Squad said about Jared Leto leaving weird stuff like mailing dead rats to cast members.
Well,
Yes.
it would explain why that they have an on-site therapist now.
Well, you would
Yeah,
have
they do.
Jared Leto is method man when it comes to that too.
No, that's the thing. They got too method. That's why they had to get a therapist too.
Too much.
But they was a live rat.
it was a
But
lot.
yeah, it was a live rat. It wasn't dead. She was going to keep it. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see what else. You got your first concept for World of Warcraft film. Looks
Wow.
pretty interesting. For what little they showed. I guess the players, I don't play WoW, so I imagine they were really super psyched about it.
Yep. We're also getting cast members on hand for Hateful Eight, Quentin
Yes.
Tarantino's film coming out in Christmas. Oh, that's the one that gets me. I'm really
Beautiful
looking forward
poster,
to
too.
Yeah.
Beautiful poster.
And the promos have been absolutely fantastic looking too. It's again a movie we know nothing about, and it's gonna be awesome. We had the big spread out in Entertainment Weekly of what's to come, and that looked amazing.
And then on the TV front, obviously we talked at last show, we talked about Ash versus the Evil Dead. Some of the other things they have, Outcast, which is a comic book show, and that premiered. It looked really interesting. It's about a very cultish type situation. You got first footage of X-Files.
Yes. Yes.
You also got footage of the new season of Walking Dead and the look at Fear the Walking
Fear the
Dead.
Walking Dead.
Fear the
Fear
Walking Dead
Dead.
looks amazing. I mean, because again, we're getting a prequel on this. The universes aren't going to cross because The Walking Dead is chronological and it's after the scene. Now we're going to get the whole thing. I'm hoping that we're going to get more of a kind of a medical drama type look at it this time around. I know we're going to get the survivor aspect, but I'd like to see a few more experts weigh in on what happened and the slow destruction of it.
Yeah, that would be really interesting. Thomas Jane has a new sci-fi show called The Expansive. It's a futuristic sci-fi film. It's like a huge conspiracy, like humanity's been lied to, very Matrixy, something like that.
Cool.
I think the one new TV show I'm excited about is Into the Badlands.
I didn't see that one.
And it's on AMC or A&E, one of them, but it's about a Japanese swordsman set in this post-U.S. dystopian world where there's like 7 territories all ruled by barons. Nice. And he's like the right-hand guy, but he's trying to get out. But there's a lot of sword play, there's a lot of martial arts, it's an Asian lead. It looks really, really exciting. I'm really excited about it. It looks really, really good.
Check that one.
Yeah, I love all that. Looks awesome. I love that. Well, speaking of which, too, there's just a ton of stuff at Comic-Con. We actually brought a guest in today, too, to talk a little bit about some of the trailers, to get an additional insight on them, too. This is going to be exciting, and this is going to be an energetic episode. We're going to bring Mario Cauley on. Hi, Mario.
Oh, snap.
Hello.
And get up on your mic.
Hello.
Hello.
So I want to hand him a pair.
Well, Mario, tell us a little bit about your film expertise that you like to bestow upon the crew today.
I do not have any field expertise to bestow upon the crew.
We just found them and we're like, hey, you should be on the show.
Yes, that is
Hey,
it.
you're walking by. Come here.
You're nicely dressed. Let's bring you on.
Nice.
So, I guess before we get into it, now have you followed into the Comic-Con stuff that's coming out right now too?
I've seen some of the trailers, but not as extensively as my man right here, but I've seen some.
Now, what's the one trailer? And I know you had there was a little bit of a debate going on. I know between you and Head Kaiju especially.
Oh my God.
If he has a moment to come on and give his input on this.
Oh my
for
goodness.
We're going to bring Head Kaiju on to talk a little bit about what is it? This Batman versus Superman.
I heard about that.
I'm in your camp, man. If you like it, I'm in your camp.
It's not that I like it. It was the fact that last time I was on the show, I came on and they brought up Batman versus Superman,
right?
And the fact that Zack Snyder was doing it. And
hey, Jansen, we have this trailer. Can we play this trailer while we're talking this? Keep going, Mario.
And nobody had seen any footage of the movie yet, anything. And on the show, I mean, like everybody to a man was writing this movie off. Like it cannot be any good. It will be bad. It's the worst idea ever. It's the worst thing ever. And I was like, Zack Snyder, whether you like all his films or not, you can definitely see that all his films are done very well in certain ways. And how some people,
well
for
designed.
instance, right, well designed.
Lots of slow motion.
Like one of them, Sucker Punch, for instance. It's my weakest one of the movies he's made.
Yeah.
But if you sit back and look at Sucker Punch, it has a lot of amazing parts to it, and it has a depth to it that if you're like, hey, look at this, look at that, it could be your favorite movie of all time, and I really couldn't argue with you because it's done in such a way it's just different.
Gradients.
But
I think my bigger problem, which is why me and Mario debate this all the time, the first Superman movie just did not capture the soul of the character at all, right? Like they made a Batman movie but put it in a Superman costume. Dark movie, no colors, no hope. Everybody dies at the end. Metropolis is destroyed. Superman is leaned on by his dad to let people die if it's appropriate. You know, like it just they didn't get it, in my opinion. So that's why I kind of had hate going into this movie, I guess.
You know, there's one thing in the trailer though I do have to point out. How many times on screen do we have to see the Wayne family get killed?
Oh my God!
How many
Everybody's
times?
so jacked over on
It's the one trope, I guess, that's every Batman franchise they show his parents dying.
It's just as many times as you're going to see Peter Parker get bit by a spider.
And everybody complains about that one too, right? Like everybody goes crazy. Don't show another origin story. But I kind of agree with her. I mean, they'll probably only use it as a quick image in this movie or whatever. But they've put it in every single Batman movie. That's ever
in every
made,
trailer too, though.
But that's his motivation.
Yeah.
And I mean, and that's going to be the thing. Even if you're going to come in on it, like, not everybody's a comic book head. And not everybody's going to be like, I mean, they're going to have a general consensus, a general idea of what the heck's going on.
But it's easy to consider that Spider-Man, Batman, and Superman have the most notable origins that you don't need to tell it again and again and
I'll give you that. But, I mean, I think for the sake of the story, you need to remind the people of the motivation that Batman has. Even if it's like, you know, something that you don't want to deal with, you know, I think it's necessary for the story, personally.
Well, what I had trouble with Man of Steel and I admit that story was clunky and stuff like this, but look at what Batman versus Superman is doing now. They're addressing those issues head on.
Yeah.
You know, the Wayne Tower is getting decimated.
It'll be a good apologist to action.
You know, they're gonna. I mean, obviously they had a bigger picture, somewhat, on a big board somewhere, that they were going to address. You know, the destruction that was going to happen in Metropolis. To tie it to Batman, and it's not even Superman's fault, because that's the scene where Zod just develops heat vision, and he's the one who destroys the building. You know, but it's easy to tie it to Superman, stuff like that. And you know, they're trying to move towards Superman being that symbol of hope type situation. They're just doing it in such a current version of it, with so much social media, so much opinion, so much knee-jerk reaction that today's society does.
I'll give you that.
Is that what they're exploiting in this film?
But the character, if anything, the character stands for something pure and Americana. Like, you don't make a Captain American movie and start him off as a bad guy in the gutters and, like, not caring about people around him, and then he evolves into Captain America. And I kind of feel like that's what they did with Superman. But, Mario, I will give it up to you on one thing. The new trailer looks pretty damn good, actually. The new trailer was surprising. It looks good. Affleck looks good in it. I guess we heard out of San Diego that Affleck's going to do a Batman solo movie as well. Is that correct?
He's going to have Jeff Johns co-write it?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
well, that's a good thing, too, then. Mario don't like that one. Okay.
There is one thing, though.
Did Scott Snyder to co-write it?
Did you realize that?
No, you want Joe Kelly, don't you, Mario?
Someone. Jeff Johns, he's done some decent work, definitely on Green Lantern, but overall, in every facet, I've seen him totally fall apart on other artists. So,
all right, thanks, guys. I'm gonna let KZ get back in here.
Very cool.
Sweet.
So for the other trailers too that popped up, what are some other ones that kind of?
They put out the Mockingjay Part 2 trailer. Obviously, the Deadpool. They put out the X-Men trailer, and everybody's okay on it, but not okay. Everybody's biggest problem on that is Apocalypse.
Well, Apocalypse looks like there was a meme that came up online of Apocalypse. And they put from Power Rangers.
I've seen two.
There's a Power Ranger where they put Rita and the other guy from Power Rangers next to Apocalypse to kind of mock his costume. You know, when I look at Apocalypse, you know, first of all, Oscar Isaacs is all over the sci-fi fantasy put me in your movie campaign. And as you can see right here, there's the costume for Apocalypse. The left side is going to be the kind of the cosplay version that's pulled directly from the comic canon, and to the right is the film version. So he does look like kind of a purple Thanos. His you know, right hand man.
I made a comment.
Looks like a guy with the power of a melted purple crayon.
Oh, no.
You know?
Loves that purple. Yeah, it's really funny because I've actually seen three memes. One's like that one says cosplayer does better job.
Yes.
I've seen a computer artist who made one. He said a computer artist who's on a limited budget probably eats ramen every day does a better job than Fox Studios who has millions of dollars. And then the third one I saw someone put Prince's face on Apocalypse. And says,
Purple Rain. Purple Rain.
That one was cool.
That was funny. I saw that. We posted that on Jedigoddess. That was great. Yeah, and you know, I have reservations with some of the casting. I'll leave it at that as well.
I thought the girl who played Storm looks great.
She looked good, but
they
again,
they
went a little. Like you said, like the crown box exploded and everyone picked a color when it came to it. The costumes
it's
on
set
here.
in the 80s, and when wasn't color exploding all over the place in the 80s?
Exactly what I liked.
So I just think Apocalypse could have been a little bit different.
Well, you hope that they at least throw some CGI on him and make him bigger.
Well, yeah, like, you know, I was actually watching Trainwreck, and what's his name? John Cena, the wrestler, is that his name? The real
John
big
Cena.
John Cena. He had the body type for an Apocalypse. I was thinking they could have just put it on him, even at the jawline, to where you could even. I don't know about the acting part per se.
Got that big the French wrestler from Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, you know, somebody.
I have a question.
Well, he's already got a gig as the Vampire Master on Strain. So
That's right.
Why does Storm keep getting brighter and brighter? Somebody answer me that. That's all I want to know.
I want to do this one to Khalid.
She went from Grace Jones to she's gonna be Lindsay Lohan next week. You know,
because we're in the new era of like interracial relations, man. That's why. I don't know, man.
I just had a question.
But Black Panther's still black, dog.
You sure?
Yeah.
Well, Aquaman's got a bit of a Aquaman. Is Jason Momoa, so
that's funny.
Well, speaking of, should we slide into the segment?
Hold on, let me
for
get
Mr. Khalid.
Get everything together here real quick. Okay, so this is The Ones That Got Away.
Yes.
And it's about that one black guy in the whole movie that made it through. So
the guy who survived.
The one
guy that survived and keeps a decent gross.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't Storm.
And it wasn't Storm. It wasn't Storm. So anyway, the person I picked this today is Danny Glover.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So the reason why I picked him is because of Predator 2 and Lethal Weapon. The fact is, he made it all the way through Lethal Weapon.
All of them.
All of them.
Survivor.
I mean, he had a bomb on the toilet. Okay. And they had a picture of him running through the street in his drawers in the third one. But he still made it, and he had a happy family. Okay. So that's cool. And when he was in and he was like Sergeant Murtaugh. That was his name. So he made it through, and it was all good. Now in Predator 2, that movie didn't do as well, but it got a profit and it got a just a cult following. So he was the head, cop. He was all the dudes, and he went through and he was fighting the Predator and everything like that, and it was pretty cool. But the problem I had though was that the dude that played the Predator was a black guy.
Yeah, he was.
So I was kind of curious if that was some black on black crime going on. But he died. He died and he made it through. And the Predator's got dreads and everything like that. So the person right now, he's from the old school, but the person I dig the most right now for this day is Danny Glover. So I select him to be one.
He was too old to not die. He was too old not to die in movies, so he dies in Saw. That's
now I do have a council of people that made it through, but I'm not going to say them just yet. That's for next week.
Okay. My test for you is to actually get a black person who made it through the movie whose name is not in the lead credits.
In the lead credits?
In the lead credits.
That's going to be some studying, bro. There is one, but it's going to take a little studying.
I mean, the first thing that popped in my mind, and then I thought, oh, no. Was like Night of the Living Dead, but then no, never mind.
I have a few. I really have a few.
Like, just the last 5 minutes?
I have a few, but, it's going to take a little time. Don't worry. It's coming. Trust me.
Okay.
Well, hopefully John Boyega will be added to that list.
No, he's in the credits.
He's in the credits.
But I did see a picture of him. They did have a picture of him with Chewbacca. So I was like, and he had a gun, so I was hype on that. So they were like, it's for the black, you know what I'm saying? So
it's for the black.
It was all good.
So he's not putting his faith in any hokey religions.
No hokey religions.
His name is not in the first 4 or 5 names of the credits or whatever.
It's still up front, though, and he's still in the trailer. You ready?
It counts.
If he's on the poster, it's all good.
Although I did see the new version of Poltergeist, and there was one black kid in the background.
Did you watch it in the summertime?
I did. I really did. And she made it through, but she was a chick, so.
Well, there you go.
It's exactly the deal.
Well, we got to work on getting that number up. So for my segment, we'll roll into that one. It's the Not Keanu segment, if we got a title card for that. And I'm pulling up my research I have because I'm all digital. But digital. I just thought of Cuba Gooding Jr. Could he be a survivor?
We're done.
I know. I'm just it's in my mind now.
All in due time.
You made it through boat trip. Come on.
all in due time, baby. All in due time.
So, I don't know if you had an image of this, but for mine, it's Thomas Kretschmann would be my.
Is your Not
I
Keanu
have
of
two.
the week?
Yes. So we see him now to explain what not Keanu is. These are to celebrate those actors and Bruce Greenwood. Those are to celebrate those actors who have been in a million films, but you're like, what is his name? And I picked two this week because these two have both been in major franchises very quickly, but their filmography is like over 100 credits apiece. And so going back to Thomas really quick. Now, if you ever need the German guy in a film,
You couldn't get it over here.
I know. You go to Thomas Kretschmann. He's always the Nazi guy. He's always the German leader. What you know him from recently is he was the doctor for Hydra in Avengers 1 and Avengers, Age of Ultron. What he really got popular for, he was in The Pianist. And he was, of course, the major guy across Adrian Brody, who just was so in love with this, how do you say that, pianist playing?
The piano music? How do you call that piano music?
They call it piano playing.
Piano playing. But he's been in King Kong, he's been in Wanted, he's been in, Resident Evil. I mean, he's been in a million properties. And I've always liked him. I always thought he was a really cool guy on screen.
So he's the new scary German guy.
He's the scary German guy.
He's the Jason Statham of German guys.
Oh my goodness.
He's the one. So check out his filmography. It's actually really interesting, and he's really consistent. He kind of, you could be in Das Boot if they ever did a reboot of that. I could
Please
totally
don't.
see him that. If you have another 4 hours to kill in your life. The boat.
Don't do that.
Now, number 2, I have Bruce Greenwood. Now, Bruce Greenwood, I have known since, I'm going to take it back. Knots Landing. Come on now. Oh, yeah. He was Pierce. He was Nicholas Sheridan's boyfriend, Pierce, on Knots Landing. He was a total crazy person.
I don't think you've seen episode 1 of Knots Landing.
I had to go.
Were you born when Knots Landing?
Yes, I was, and I watched it. I remember watching it.
Didn't that end in 92?
She was like 2.
Getting set in front of the TV by your parents does not count as a
No.
TV show.
That's good.
What is this, remote control?
Why is it?
They were burping her while.
You know you wanted to see Fantasy Island in front.
The plane.
See?
Yeah, her first words after watching Tiny.
Bitch.
That's what I'm talking about.
Where does she get it from? I don't understand. Well, let's just say I've always had a love relationship with film. But Bruce Greenwood, you would know him, of course, as Pike from the new Star Treks, of course, Captain Pike. But he's been in so many films, a lot, of course, TV work. But whenever he pops up, he's been very slowly trickling into film, and now he's finally just kind of out of nowhere to the audience. He's this lead actor, but he's been doing this for forever. So that's my celebrating those two guys, Bruce Greenwood and Thomas Kretschmann. So check out their filmographies. They're actually both really consistent, really good actors. So I'm excited to see them getting some time on the screen.
Yes. Yes.
Good stuff. Well, I think on that note, since we're going through segments, Zach, why don't you have something a little different today than the WTF, I understand.
Yes, every week we do something called WTF, Why This Film, but we got to do something a little different this weekend. Today we're doing Why This Field Trip.
Oh, snap.
So today, Why This Field Trip took us out to Plano for Dark Hour Haunted House. I mean, this week we got a little something in our mailbox. A few months ago, our friend Amy from Dark House Haunted House was on the show, Dark Hour Haunted House, and to promote her year-round haunted attraction out in Plano. This week she invited us to kind of check out the VIP experience. Now, this is actually kind of cool. I've got some photos here that I'll just have our man scroll through one by one.
That's so cool.
It's a
Before you even hit the
wall.
doors,
It's a
you're freaked
sign.
out mainly because you just got off the scariest ride ever, 6:35 during rush hour. So you pull up to what's basically an abandoned sport authority, which really it was. And what one man's shredded hopes of affordable sporting goods become one woman's 47,000 square foot horror haven playground. The
Yes.
lobby itself is really well done. There's a lot of ornate decorations, and it's well crafted as that would be any horror attraction. You've also got characters that you get to interact with. I think we've got a couple of those pulling up because you get to meet Carl. Let's see, there's this big stagecoach that has a skeleton horseman out there. There's Carl. Carl's fun. Carl Cleaver is basically he interacts with the crowd. He very funny. He's rolling around on roller skates and looks like Randy Quaid after a good day.
Nice.
Is he always at the emergency exit? It's like, oh, I need
Yep.
to get out. I need to get out. No.
No. There's also Molly Dolly. And Molly Dolly is a little person, and she's in character all the time. She has this wonderfully boisterous voice. She looks like a wind-up doll. When you turn around, she has a key, and she's absolutely just fun
that's
to
cool.
interact with.
That's right.
So when you walk into the VIP lounge, you get this fear tester badge, and for this round, they were also doing a $13 meal for barbecue, not bad, and you get candy and sodas and things like that. And you talk with your cruise directors, who is usually Amy or it's Dawn, might be the social director Laura, and what you're about to check out. So non-folks they're basically just nice folks who want you to have a good time, and they really take care of their VIP folks. Basically, they walk you to the front of the line. It's basically your speed pass. And like I said, I couldn't get any I couldn't get any shots in the horror house, which is fine. And that works to your benefit because you can only do one group of 5 like every 5 minutes. So the attraction's about 15 to 20 minutes long, and it's completely immersive. It's all 5 senses, a 4D experience. You've got about 40 actors in there who are running around. They're grabbing at you. They're never making contact, but they're getting close enough to where it's uncomfortable for a second. You've got folks doing wire work. You've got people doing bungee cords, jumping around. I really don't want to give it away, but there's one that's just one werewolf running around a room over
cool.
you. It's
Oh,
amazing.
that's awesome.
But I mean, the advantage around a year.
That's the scary. That's the end of
That's the
it.
scariest one.
That's the guy who made it at the end. But anyway, the advantage on a year-round horror house is that the construction's solid and it's high-tech. There's natural lighting. There's decent sound. They took the steps to make it real. The gore level isn't excessive, but it's enough to be fun. You basically come out of the exit for the lava. You saw the girl met with the. Being a werewolf, they get to werewolf you. There was also a really cool kind of 3D photo that you get at the end, which is really kind of cool. The VIPs, of course, they get a T-shirt. They get a decent behind-the-scenes video, which takes you through the history of the thing, and you get to walk through. They also have behind-the-scenes tours, which we need to get booked on because it's really kind of fascinating. I've actually got a couple of videos, which hopefully will get posted to Jedigoddess.com.
Very cool.
But after you go through, you get to sit in the social lounge. You get to talk to other people who do horror all the time. They're the ones who do the haunted houses. They're the ones who do the horror houses, and they're the ones who actually love this stuff. And then you go through a second time. And the second time, you really want to take your time going through the horror house because, again, you're getting to take in all the detail and all the really cool stuff. And while you are getting lost really easy, really quick. I actually got turned on the maze. They tried not to let it happen, but it did. The first time that I went through, I was actually stuck behind a bunch of guys who were like tourists who basically knew everyone in there because they work out at Screams. So they're waving at the people and they're walking real slow and going, "This is killing my sense of belief." So when you go through the first time, you really want to go through with people who were just like rookies and things like that who know now what to expect. But the second time you go through, you really get to take in the detail and the joy of this whole thing. The cool thing about VIP is, of course, it is worth the extra money. Because you get an interactive experience. You also get to be part of the attraction yourself. You actually get to scare folks. It's very kind of cool. And of course, Amy and all of them out there, Dawn and all that, just took real good care of all of us and everyone in there. They were really interested in having a good time. The cool thing about it is that I talked to their graphic director, Laura, at the end, and basically what she said is it's Halloween all year round in here, and who doesn't like Halloween all year round?
Right.
It's people who really enjoy it. It's a haunted house made by people who love haunted houses for people who love haunted houses. You're going to get a good time in this show. You're really going to get a good quality experience if you go. Shell out the extra money for the VIP experience. It's going to run you about, I think, $65, but again, you're getting a meal, a t-shirt, pictures, and all kinds of good stuff at the end. It's really worth the cash, the time. Go out to Plano. They're just finishing up their run here for Dog Days of Summer, which is their werewolf show, but they've got 8 shows that they run throughout the year, and they start up back again in September to ramp up for Halloween.
Nice.
So,
I love it. Excellent. So shout out to Amy at Dark Hour.
yeah, we do. I do have a video of Amy that I got to do an interview with. If we want to play that, if we got time.
Yeah, let's play it. Totally. And just to clarify too, every experience is themed. So this one's Dog Days of Summer, so it's like kind of a werewolf kind of theme to it.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, no, let's check out the video.
So this is K-Zach here for Jedigoddess Presents, and I am on camera with Amy from Dark Hour. Hey. Amy has been treating Jedigoddess Presents' favorite maniac to a VIP experience. So Amy, we've had you on the show before. What we want to talk to you today about is actually the VIP experience and why someone should basically shell out the bucks to get something really cool.
Well, I feel like I should take the camera away from you and turn it around and let you tell everybody how awesome your experience has been. But like we've talked about before, the cool thing about VIP is you go through the first time, you bring that adrenaline rush with you. You see everything that's happening, you experience it live. Then you come back, you gather your wits about you, and you go through it again. We have a nice little room for you to sit and kind of relax, have a soda, have some candy, because you know we want to get you jazzed for your second round, right? You got to recover a little bit. Then we send you through the house again. You get to enjoy all of the exit lobby activities. I know we werewolfed you. You enjoyed that. And you get to take home a souvenir t-shirt with you. So yes, it is twice as much as our regular price ticket, but the value is like triple that.
Cool. And tell me about this show that we're actually experiencing here in July.
Dog Days of Summer, you know it is. This is our last offering before we close down and open up again for Halloween. This is our homage to old school movie Wolfman. You will encounter the gypsies, you encounter the huntsman, you encountered the beast who has turned and turned on you. We hit you from everywhere. You've got Wolfman in the rafters. You've got Wolfman chasing you, crawling on the ground. You don't see it coming. You've got huntsmen doing unspeakable things to themselves and to each other, much less to these beasts. It's not anything that you're going to see in our regular season show. I will tell you the witch who's in charge of this one, her appearance is so repugnant that we cannot put it on any of our marketing pieces. She is that disturbing. Would you agree with me?
I'll vouch for that,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay. And now there is, like I said, we're giving folks kind of a teaser on here. Oh, yeah. Is there any part on here that just looked so unspeakable to you as you walk through?
Baba. Baba disturbs me.
This is the witch that we're speaking of.
This is the witch, yes. Not only that, the poor huntsman who has been reduced to doing unspeakable things to try to save his own life. And I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
But they will just have to come out and experience for themselves. I don't want to destroy the gore for them.
So that's for Dog Days of Summer out here in Plano. Check out Dark Hour and, of course, their website, which is
darkhourhauntedhouse.com. Also, stalk us, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We like stalkers, but only like that. Other than that, in the real world, we like to come find you.
Thanks, Amy.
Thank you.
Very cool.
So
Awesome.
again, Amy was kind enough to take me behind the scenes. I got to get a little bit of the look at their storeroom and, of course, some of the behind the scenes stuff. So I'll go ahead and get some photos posted and some of those videos up on Jedigoddess.com later on this week. So.
Yeah, that was a great interview, Zach. And again, shout out to Amy because that was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah.
All right, so we're down to about 15 minutes left in the show. I got a couple things I wanted to throw at the crew and get their opinion on. Did you guys talk about Ant-Man yet?
We have not. We haven't talked about the movies we've seen and stuff.
How many people on the panel have seen Ant-Man so far? Oh, just Mario and Christy.
Yeah.
Thomas didn't see Ant-Man? What's going on?
I'm not excited about the movie, so I'm going the slow roll on it. I might go see it tomorrow.
Christy, what was your opinion?
The comedy helped it a lot. The humor of it helped it a lot. It's one of those properties, and we were talking about this a little bit out in the hallway and stuff. It's a hard sell. Same as like Guardians was kind of a niche-y hard sell. but the comedy is what kind of brought it full force. So I'll leave it at that. I thought this was a really good standout for Paul Rudd and even Michael Pena. So.
From what I understand, they also got a lot of the science correct. I was listening to an episode on NPR. They were talking about
ants.
They were talking about the ants and how they actually very much got it right, very much did their research on it and got it correct. With
the science is perfect.
Exception.
They it's actually not an effect. They shrunk Paul Rudd down to the size of a nickel.
They did.
Well, I thought it was very interesting the fact that it made $58 million over this weekend, so it did very well, which I did not expect that movie to do. So, but it's an origin story, and origin stories are slow for me. That movie was kind of slow for me.
Yeah.
I thought it was for people who just like movies, want to go and have fun. You can go and have fun and have a good time, especially if you like seeing him being shrunk and going through all the learning and all the jumping up and down and
training
that kind
montage.
of thing. Yes, those type of things. So, but
hey, bravo to Marvel for not releasing all the secrets from that movie in the trailer.
Yeah,
there's stuff on the screen that I did not expect to see that was pretty cool. Actually,
that's cool.
They're being smart about that. Yeah,
it has 2 or 3 surprises in it that when they hit you, you go, "Oh, I didn't see that coming." That's kind of cool. You have a little bit of fun.
Well played.
So for the guys who know the Ant-Man origin story, who know the comic book story, what was it like for you seeing what they did on screen and how that translated over?
Well, Paul Rudd's character is not in the comic book, so have fun with that.
Yeah, he is.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, is he new?
He's the third. Yeah, he's the third Ant-Man.
Oh, he's the third Ant-Man. Okay, we're down there. Okay, but
so I'm a little curious. Was Douglas the second Ant-Man?
He was the first Ant-Man. He was Henry Pym.
Okay.
He was the Ant-Man. So that, and actually the way they did that, probably if you're a comic book fan, and the way they did Michael Douglas' characters, who is Henry Pym, and I thought that was done very well. I had a great time living through Michael Douglas. The strong parts of the movie are, as Christy said, the comedy was pretty good. They had, what is his name, Pena?
Michael Pena.
Michael Pena did.
I heard he was the breakout star, really. In
yeah,
that film.
he did a lot in that film that made me notice him. And again, he would actually be a viable, not Keanu person too. So
yeah, he's in a ton of stuff, and he's always kind of carried his weight, but he's never really had that real breakout.
Yeah, this was the breakout for him. I would definitely say when he was on screen, it was fun.
Because when I think of him, I think of of all movies, I think of Shooter.
Yes.
Nice. Nice. Okay, let's keep running the gamut on some of the movies that have come out. Christy, I know you had a sneak to Mr. Holmes this week, the new Ian McKellen.
I did. We actually, and this film is a completely different direction. It's based upon Mr. Holmes, the books by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. It's the story of Holmes after he had, he's at the end, he's in his 80s, he's older, he's kind of retired to the country. It's what I would call very much an Oscar bait film because it's very dramatic, it's very masterpiece theater, but that's not a bad thing. Ian McKellen gives a incredible performance. He's charming. He's charismatic. His mannerisms completely fit. He really embodied the character really well. And there is drama as far as there's a conflict with him aging and having to come to terms with senility and things like that, and having to also have this brilliant mind on top of that, and just being conscious of all those things happening, just coming to that. So it sounds sad, but it really wasn't. It was well done. Breakout acting also by the young boy, and I apologize to forget his name, but the kid actor in that was incredible.
A shocking performance from like a 7-year-old or whatever.
Yeah, he was incredible in that. I was like blown away. And against Ian McKellen, they held their own, which is pretty intense. So, and Laura Linney was in it as well. So, and I hadn't seen her in a minute. So overall, the film was well done. There's some good flashbacks, but kept it like, I love flashbacks in films like that because it keeps it interesting, keeps the pace going, and lets you have a point of reference to it. It's a very intelligent script. It's, it'll have you thinking and be like, elementary. But, but it was good. I really enjoyed it, but it's not an action film. It's definitely going to see theater. And if you're a big fan of Ian McKellen, just seeing an actor do his process, do his job well, then this film is worth seeing.
I'm excited to see this film, actually.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. Take tea with you, because you're going to be like, I need tea when I'm watching this.
Yes, Ian McKellen almost starred in the next film we're talking about, but was beat out slightly by Amy Schumer for the lead in Trainwreck.
Very well done. Oh my gosh.
So if he got Trainwreck, he'd bring Patrick Stewart on there and then just romping around New York.
I would totally see that in a heartbeat. Has anyone else seen Trainwreck? I've seen it.
Is that the one with LeBron in it?
Yes, LeBron. Oh my God, that movie's insane.
Ian McKellen and LeBron. That'd be the funniest thing.
You do a lot of charity work?
Well, I slept with a lot of fat guys.
So Trainwreck G-rated movie, if I remember correctly.
Right.
Yes, fun for the whole family if you like boobs.
If you like boobs, fun for all the Kazak.
I have to admit, and I hate to admit this, I'm actually looking forward to seeing a John Cena movie. That's what that as a wrestling fan, I am ashamed. But
Not quite his movie.
You will see a lot of John in this movie.
Yes. You'll see John Cena's ovaries in this movie.
And let me tell you, when I saw that on the screen, I'm like, they're so tan.
I'm scared, dog. I'm scared.
Right. Sounds like too much John Cena for me.
but no, I mean,
it's gloriously gratuitous John Cena in this movie. But that goes for most of the cast except Amy Schumer, which is hilarious.
I have to beg our audience and our panel, if you haven't seen it, to check out Amy Schumer's appearance on Late Night with Jimmy Fallon.
We posted it on Jedigoddess.
It was so funny. It was unbelievable.
That's straight up, boy. I ain't gonna say nothing.
She did Katie Couric so wrong. Oh my God.
You know, and the thing is, that's something to where I'm like, I might do something.
Never leave your phone out.
Anyone who knows me knows you never leave your phone out too long with me. Your wallpaper gets changed very quickly.
I'll be interested to see Trainwreck's opening this weekend, because I know when we saw it at Friday night at 7 o'clock, and there was barely an empty seat in the theater.
Packed.
They say the opening for Trainwreck will be about $30 million.
Yeah.
That's great for a raw comedy. That's incredible.
And you know,
female lead,
who wasn't famous before this film.
Right.
Female lead.
Yeah, she was kind of known if you followed Comedy Central, but like your boy in this did an amazing job, Bill Hader.
Oh,
Michael.
Bill Hader's brilliant.
Yeah.
Bill Hader is brilliant.
The thing with him is that Michael and I saw this film called The Skeleton Twins in theaters, and we were really crazy about that. He plays a completely different character than he does in Trainwreck.
Maybe the opposite character.
Yeah, like Oil and Water. It's completely opposite. But Bill Hader is really fun to watch on screen in Trainwreck. I really enjoyed him. I connected with him. You know, he plays kind of, I won't want to get into details of it, but he plays the good guy, the good boyfriend kind of thing, and he does it really well. He was really charismatic, and I think, that's something that there's quite a few actors out there who aren't as charismatic as I think they need to be in order to dominate a film. So, yeah.
Right on.
Great. Well, bravo to Amy Schumer, because that was a damn funny movie, and it's
Yes.
nice to see a movie like that open big.
Oh, yeah. And it's good. I totally agree with that. And, the whole thing about women being in film, that's kind of the trend coming around now. The thing I worry about is that I just don't want this to become a trope. And I feel like it might be heading that direction. Like, we're putting women in film just to do it. I like seeing quality.
Rebooted Ghostbusters. What?
I know, right? I want to see quality on screen.
Yeah, we actually got during Comic-Con we actually did get pictures. We got to see the new girls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we have a picture of that in the news file, Jensen. If we could pull that up, the new Ghostbusters. There were some pictures from set this week.
I'll tell you what. Remakes are going to be part of society until actually quality starts making headway again.
The comeback of quality.
I'll tell you what. I was more excited about new Ghostbusters before San Diego. I've lost a lot of confidence.
What?
Wow.
I just don't like some of the pieces. The proton packs look terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Who's
the
directing?
car looks terrible. Paul Feig from Bridesmaids. And Spy. And
so you're going to have that kind of humor.
But again,
Spy's funny.
But again, Mario and I have had this debate over and over again, in the fact that basically studios are afraid to try the new formula, so they're willing to trot out anything that made money before again and again and again.
I just don't like the look of it. I mean, like the Ecto is like this pumped up Cadillac, or not Cadillac, Continental.
Yeah,
with this,
we have it on screen right now.
Ridiculously huge, flashing light. It was like it's like too comedic.
Wow.
Light.
Right.
Kristen Wiig looks like Hey Mo. Jesus.
Kristen Wiig looks like she does not want to be there.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get good things out of it. But Christy did scare me last week when she said, if this movie is a hit, we're going to start seeing the era of remaking everything with all women instead now.
Yeah.
Right. And that was my ultimate fear, is that they're going to take something that, that needs to happen, that's a great idea, and like they do, they just put sugar all over it. You don't need sugar.
Sugar Melissa McCarthy all over it.
We're just going to douse the bag of sugar, so whatever was there to begin with, we don't even know what happened to it.
Hey, speaking of San Diego, there were a couple other Star Wars news pieces out of San Diego that I'd like to touch on. If you'll hit that first picture of the toy right next to the one that you're on right there. No. Yeah, that'll work. This is the new Imperial TIE Fighter that's coming out. The toys for Star Wars, the first toys were released this week. That thing is bigger than your head. It's gigantic.
If you go to tested.com, they did a video about where they were walking around, and apparently these set pieces were in cases, and they couldn't put a top on it because it was so big.
Wow. $169 is going to be the release price on that. That is a beautiful piece. It gives you a sense that we're going to get some beautiful ships out of it.
Just put a piece of glass on top of it. You got yourself a table.
The other thing I wanted to touch on is we got our first images this week from the new Chewbacca series.
Nice.
From Marvel. It's going to be beautiful. Phil Noto is doing the artwork on them. Khalid, I know you're a Phil Noto fan. Is that correct?
Yes, I am a Phil Noto fan. And I remember seeing that cover, and I was really a big fan of what was going on.
It's hot out here.
I've always wanted to know how they're going to tell his story. Always.
Well, they said they're not. The writer, I read an interview with the writer, and he said, we debated for a minute doing a bunch of thought caption boxes on Chewbacca, and then we just threw it out. We just went with what you're used to.
They didn't want to make him Garfield.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about.
Loves lasagna.
Are we going to talk about Wookiee Life Day?
Chewbacca loses his virginity, and then I wanted to go. The next thing was those 2 pages after Chewbacca. The Lando comic, by the way, this wasn't from San Diego, but the Lando comic did ship last week. God, it was good.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great comic.
Did anyone else read it? Thomas, did you get a chance to check it out?
I did not get a chance to read it.
It's well done. It's visually, the panels in it are great. The colors,
good, man.
They glow. It has a glow
really
to it.
good.
Literally, it glows.
The colors in particular. So this is Alex Maleev, who did the famous run on Daredevil that everybody lost their mind about. He really designed it like it's a film. So the scenes, if you could go click next on that, Jansen. Look at that design. That reminds me of the end of Empire, the end of Jedi. Just the beautiful formatting, the coloring. Every scene had its own kind of color scheme. It was just beautiful.
Nice.
Another smart move from that property.
I did want to throw in. I don't know if it came up already. Jedi, did you cry this past week?
Lord have mercy.
Oh no, it was
Why'd you cry?
It was the behind the scenes video for Star Wars that was released with all the practical effects.
Oh, yeah.
The real.
That stirred me. No, I'm not kidding, because I'm a big Star Wars fan, but it's going back to your childhood. I'm very connected to that. That was one of the first big properties that I saw as a kid. I really connected with Leia because I could identify with her. And seeing a return to the practical effects, to someone actually caring about it versus just putting something out there with a shiny wrapper on it. Yep. This has the meat on the bones, as it were. Yeah, and they're really building up on it. So
I think we posted that on our Facebook.
Yeah. So that when I first saw that, I was like, I'm okay. I'm done. This is exactly what you want to see as a fan, and what we should have had. Like with Phantom Menace, we wanted that. We had that kind of dangling fruit, as it were. But when we got to it,
and it was actually we said that they didn't show any new footage or anything like this, but you did get to see Leia.
I did purposely.
Barely.
Yes. But you got to see what
he's pretty smart about rolling the characters out slowly. We haven't seen a shot of her face yet. We haven't seen a shot of Mark Hamill's face on screen. We only saw him talking about it. That kind of
just solo, and I don't want to see it. I really don't. I want to be in the moment, and I want to take it in as I see it on film. I purposely didn't click on click on the link for Leia's release. No, I'm not looking at this.
All right, guys, you got 1 minute to wrap. If there's anything you want to throw on the table.
Yeah, did anyone see the Attack on Titan trailer that dropped this weekend?
Did not see.
I did.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so if you're an anime fan, this one it's a live action Attack on Titan film, and oh my god,
That
it looks
thing
amazing.
is nuts.
We'll post
man.
that on Jedigoddess.
thing
We need
is
to,
nuts.
and then yeah, because Attack on Titan, man. I watched some of it, but I haven't seen the new stuff, and it's crazy. It's kind of a creepy, crazy. It's amazing.
It's a creepy giant attack.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love it.
There's the
so,
theme.
There's the theme. Thank you guys so much. And that is our time nerding out. But Jedigoddess.com, Facebook.com/Jedigoddess Christy. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for Mario for coming in, to my awesome crew, to Jansen in the back. Stay tuned. Sundays and Deep Ellum on Air Rock.
thank you, Drive Through.
Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
Bye.